Hello everyone. Today now I'm going to show a demonstration on RCA process. So before we start a RCA process, it's very important to understand the lab safety protocol. So basically whenever we start any chemical process, it's very important, it's necessary to cover ourselves completely with this chemical resist gown. Then this one green gloves, this is a chemical resist gloves, hair net, face mask, goggles completely, and completely covered shoes like this. So always make sure the shoes which we are using for any chemical process should be completely closed. It will protect you from any chemical contact. This is body shower and this one is eye shower. While working, if any chemical gets on your body or it gets into your eyes, you have to immediately stand under this body shower. So for using this body shower, you just have to pull this rod. So like a normal water shower, water will come from here. So whatever the chemical on your body, it will drain out completely. And then immediately remove your gown. And if any chemical gets into your eyes, so in that case, you just have to flip this slowly like this. So it will also be like a normal water fountain, and place your head in such a way that your eyes, the water will get directly into your eyes and the chemical will wash it out. In this chemistry lab, we have 3 different wet benches. This one is for TMH and mask etching. This one is general purpose wet bench, and this one is for RCA cleaning. So we have 3 different wet benches for different purposes to avoid contamination. So we do our chemical process using these wet benches. We have here 3 different cabinets to keep our chemical bottle. This one is to keep base chemicals. This one is to keep solvent, and this cabinet is used to keep acid chemical bottles. Now in each cabinet we have kept fresh bottles as well as used bottles. So like this, here we have kept fresh bottles, and the respective chemical used bottles we have kept here. So I'll show you with an example. Like this one is a fresh bottle of acetone. So, and after using this chemical, we have to dispose this leftover chemical into the respective used bottle only. So like this is labeled as used acetone. So once we complete with the process with this chemical, we have to dispose into this used bottle only. We should not throw it into the sink. Whenever we work on a wet bench, it's very important to make it a point that if you're using any solvent, just make sure any acid chemical is not surround to your process. Just make sure it is far away from your process, because acid and solvent, if it come in contact with each other, it will react and it result in explosion. So if you're using any solvent, avoid acid, and if you're using any acid, avoid solvents. Now in this RCA, so this is the RCA setup. So in this RCA setup we have these are the Teflon beakers for HF that we are using. This one is for to prepare 2% HF solution. These are the 2 quartz beakers. One is for RCA1 and another is for RCA2. So always remember, RCA1 and RCA2 we are using 2 different beakers, quartz beakers, because RCA1 is basic in nature and RCA2 is acidic in nature. So both should not come in contact with each other. The boat we are using to load the wafers, it's of a quartz material. So, and this one, the tweezer we are using is also of Teflon. This one is Teflon petri dish, and these are the measuring cylinders. It is also of Teflon material. So the RCA process we carried out at a temperature between 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. So now we'll switch on this hot plate and set the temperature at 75 degrees centigrade. Now to start the RCA process, first we have to load the silicon wafers into this quartz board. So loading in such a way that the cut portion of the silicon wafer should be in downwards in this position. So like this we have to load the wafers. And always make sure the surface of both the wafers should not be, they should not touch each other, otherwise the surface cleaning will not be proper. Now to proceed with RC cleaning, we have to wear chemical acid resistant gloves, which is only dedicated for this RCA process. Now in this RCA process, we are using only deionized water. We are not using any tap water or RO water. So we have to use freshly running tap water only. Switch for DI water. So first of all, I'll wash all the RCA beakers. Now hold this board in such a way, in this using this tweezer, and then dip it in this DI water to remove any dust particles. So slowly we have to dip it, otherwise the samples, the silicon wafers may break. This is hydrofluoric acid 49%, which we are using here, and this is also stored in Teflon bottle only. I'll take 240 ml of DI water and 10 ml of hydrofluoric acid. So like this we'll prepare 2% of. And now 10 ml. Now adding this 10 ml of hydrofluoric acid into this DI water. So like this we have prepared 2% of hydrofluoric solution. this silicon wafers into this 2% HF solution for 30 seconds, and then after 30 seconds to remove these excess HF solution from the surface, again we have to rinse it with freshly taken DI water. So I will keep it for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, we'll rinse it with DI water to remove native oxide. Now we'll start with RCA1 solution preparation to remove organic contaminant. To prepare RCA1 solution, we have to take the chemicals in the ratio of 1:2:7. So for RCA preparation, we have to take DI water plus ammonium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. So first I'll take DI water and then I'll add ammonium hydroxide to it. I'm taking 180 ml of deionized water. This is ammonium hydroxide. So into this DI water, we'll add 25 ml of ammonium hydroxide. Just make sure one hand should be at the base and another hand should be at the bottom of the bottle. So we have to handle it like this way. Now adding ammonium hydroxide to this DI water, and then I'll place it on a hot plate for 5 minutes at 75 degrees centigrade. During this waiting time, the sash of this wet vent should be completely closed. If in case any accident happened, the chemical will not come directly into the lab and we will be protected. And also while working with the chemicals, always make sure the sash of the wet vent should be partially open like this. It should not be completely open. So now I'll close it for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes I will add 50 ml of hydrogen peroxide to RC1 solution. After 5 minutes, place this beaker down. Place it down and then add 50 ml of hydrogen peroxide. So this is hydrogen peroxide solution. So I'll take 50 ml of it. This hydrogen peroxide is a strong oxidizing agent. So while pouring it, make sure it is not near to hot plate. In 50, adding this 50 ml of hydrogen peroxide to this heated RC1 solution. Then load this HF cleaned silicon wafers and again we'll heat it for 8 minutes at same 75 degrees centigrade. Now 8 minutes are over. We'll Now I'll place this beaker down and allow it to cool at a room temperature for around 12 minutes. Because we cannot go directly for RC2 solution. The solution is right now is at a higher temperature. So it's if I load this way, if I put this wafer in a cool solution, there are the chances to the breakage of the silicon wafer. So it's better to wait for at least 12 minutes at a room temperature, then we can proceed for an RC2 solution preparation. So now we'll wait for 12 minutes cooling. Now after RC1 preparation, again we'll do 30 seconds HF dip to remove native oxide. So first we have to rinse it with freshly taken deionized water. And then we'll dip it in 2% HF solution to remove native oxide layer for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, again we'll rinse it with fresh deionized water to remove excess HF solution from the surface. So now we'll start with RC2 cleaning process. RC2 solution is this preparation is to remove ionic and metallic contaminants from the surface of silicon wafers. So this RCA2 solution is also a ratio of 1:2:7 of hydrochloric acid, hydrogen peroxide and deionized water. So first I'll take 180 ml of DI water. And then I'll add 25 ml of HCl. So one thing we have to make sure, whenever we are using any acid, always pour acid to a water. This is hydrochloric acid. To take 25 ml. We'll add 25 ml of HCl to this 180 ml of DI water. Now we'll heat it at 75 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes are over. Replace this beaker down. And then into it we'll add 50 ml of hydrogen peroxide. So I'll take 50 ml of it. So now add 50 ml of hydrogen peroxide to this RCA2 solution. And then load this HF cleaned wafers. Again we'll heat it for 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes at 75 degrees centigrade. So now we'll wait for 5 to 6 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll place it down and allow it to cool for 12 minutes at a room temperature. So now we are done with RCA1 and RCA2 cleaning process. So now we don't require hot plate for heating. So in this meanwhile, we can switch off this hot plate, lower the temperature. Always wait for the hot plate to cool it and then only switch off from the main switch. So now we'll wait for 12 minutes and allow the hot plate to decrease the temperature, and then we'll start our HF cleaning process. So now after 12 minutes cooling, we'll do a final HF dip to remove the native oxide. So first we'll rinse it with deionized water 3 times. And then dip it in hydrofluoric acid solution 2% for 30 seconds. Okay. So after 30 seconds, again rinse it with fresh deionized water. So this is a final HF dip. And after this, we just have to dry it with nitrogen gas. completes the RCA process. Now we are allowing this RC1 and RC2 solution to cool it down for minimum 15 minutes. So when the solution cools down, we have to dispose into the respective used bottle. So we have RC1 used bottle and RC2 used bottle separately. We have to dispose in that respective bottle itself. So after when the solution cools down, we will dispose in that. So this ends the RC process here. To dispose RCA1 chemical into this used RCA1 chemical bottle itself. So first read it properly which bottle it belongs to and then dispose the chemical. So as you can see, this bottle, it has a vented cap like this. So this chemical RC1 and RCA2, it keeps on forming fumes. So it requires a path to remove from the bottle. Otherwise, there are chances for the bottle to burst out. So always remember to keep this vented cap for RC1 and RC2 solution chemical bottle. So now use funnel to transfer the chemical for easy access like this, and then transfer this used solution. So once you transfer it, wait for few seconds and then close the cap. Wash the funnel thoroughly before you dispose RC2 solution. Now we can close this bottle. Never close it too tightly nor too loosely also. Now hold it in this way and then keep inside the cabinet. Now we'll dispose RCA2 chemical solution. Again use a funnel to transfer. Close the sash partially and then transfer this liquid. Again wait it for few seconds before you close the bottle with the cap. So as you can see, for RCA2 also we are using vented cap. Now close it like this and then keep inside the cabinet. So now finally we will dispose 2% hydrofluoric acid solution. Now we can directly close the cap. The RCA process. Finally, we just have to wash all the beakers, petri dishes, everything, and keep inside the dedicated setup box.